Hi, welcome back to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. My name is Troy, and a little bit of an adventure. Now, if you follow this channel for a while, you'd see a bit of the evolution of the different types of vehicles and different types of activities that we've done here. A lot of it is focused on Land Rover and Range Rover, either club involvement or kind of personal endeavors. Rover Woods Lodge, the various events that we participated in the Virginia proper area, and with even the New York trip with the ANARC group. And this will be a little bit of a culmination of all those things. In this video, I'll be boarding a plane and we'll be going to somewhere in the mountains of New Mexico to participate in an ANARC, I guess, funded or sponsored off-road training clinic with a lot of other members from the Rovers Owners of Virginia group and some guys from the original Camel trophy. So we're kind of meshing and blending all the things that we have participated in the last few years into kind of one type of training, team building, camaraderie, off-road, Land Rovering type of event. So stick around, this should be a pretty good time. And I'll be honest, I don't really know what is completely going to be in store. I gave Bob Steele some of my things. He is driving there from Virginia. There's a few other gentlemen, I think Ralph Sarek and some other folks, including the guys from Lucky 8 will be there. Some of the instructors, again, they're ex-Camel Trophy participants. Bill Burke's gonna be there. And you know, we're gonna dive right into potentially some technical training, some off-road driving. They'll have a vehicle for me, so there should be a pretty fun, interesting type of thing. There should be some long days, so I'm not sure how much filming I'll be able to get done, but we should be able to accomplish something on the eve of a little bit of the Roverwood sponsored Rovers at Wintergreen event. So if you're going to that event, drop me a comment below and maybe we'll see you out there or at Rover Woods or on the mountain. So we're gonna get packed, I think. I wish I could bring some more stuff. I'm just gonna bring random things. I don't have it all.
If necessary, an infant light vest will be distributed by a flight attendant and the safety coach.
All right, we made it to El Paso. Ian is dressed appropriately, and there's a red D1 that apparently drove from Philadelphia to come get us. And they are here, it looks like. If we can find them without getting hit. All right, we've grabbed the essentials. Laura has driven us and picked us up from the airport. She just drove here from Pennsylvania to basically Mexico to grab us in this awesome D2. All right, so we were here, a little camp set up, a bunch of Land Rovers and people. Just shook hands with Mr. Bill Burke. He'll be leading this instructional adventure about to take place. And yeah, we'll check in the morning. I brought some donations. Let's see this place in the daytime. So, beautiful day here in New Mexico. It is the morning. We're seeing our setting for the first time. There are mountains that don't really show up too well on camera, but 60 degrees, dry. Everyone is mostly here. There are Land Rovers scattered all through this desert. They look a little bit out of place. This is Jeep and Toyota territory, but I kind of like the juxtaposition of it. So we'll get into hopefully what we're doing soon. Oh, more Land Rovers. Looks like Justin from Lucky 8 is here. Looks like he brought his off-road vehicle for the trip. What if this thing has lockers? Not bad. This is a little bit better. It's one of those Volvo Pinzaguire Pook things. Don't really know much about these, kind of like a little forward control, but it's pretty neat. Pretty neat to see in person. And it's funny, it has that old truck smell that kind of radiates off of it. Check out this, well, one, the clearance, and two, that shovel placement. Interesting. went to get coffee, and we found a mall from the 80s.
Service.
Look at that taco salad. That's what you want. All right, so we've got no car. We've got no tools. So we found a Harbor Freight in New Mexico. We just did a preview of a dead 80s mall, which there's no coffee there. And we're at a Ross, but there's a Harbor Freight, so we're gonna go and buy some things there. We're on quite the New Mexico adventure. It's an interesting truck. Look, someone gets to go drive. All right, so we couldn't find a Land Rover for sale in town, which was a bummer. So I guess we're gonna have to do what we came here to do and do some training stuff. So let's try to enjoy the day here. See, I thought this was going to be off-road training. This is more like Land Rovers Anonymous. In our circle of who's got a coin? Anyone got a coin?
We've all got a meeting here last evening. My name is Bob Steele. I live in Virginia, and I'm on the borders of ANARC, and I'm your liaison for the weekend. I want to welcome all of you and thank all of you for making long drives to get here. I know we've got people from all over, so I'm very grateful that you think enough of your club and yourselves to come here and be a part of this. There are two people I want to introduce who have gone above and beyond. I want to introduce Chris and Ann. Chris and Ann are nice to share all these public spaces with us. They're property for all of us to camp and enjoy. We have a fire, be a part of this and enlighten us and help us share a wonderful experience together. Is I want to thank our sponsors. Every time I get up to talk, I am going to thank our sponsors because they made this event possible. First off, I want to thank Chris and James with Safe Extract. They have made a significant contribution financially and spiritually for all of us to be here. Bill Burke, over there in the corner with Bill Burke, 4WA, BB 4WA.
What Bob has said for coming. Committed a lot of your time and your resources to be here. And I'd like to add into what Liza said. This is a stewardship program. We are going to be stewards. What does that mean to you? Really, what does it mean to be a steward to you? Participate, to understand the differences between training, education, and instruction. And then you're going to have to decide, are you going back to educate, to train, or to instruct all of you, and what are the differences?
So as we choose some teams out here, let's admire the setup of interesting vehicles of all different types of generations. We will be doing some skills course, some recovery training, some first aid, pretty much anything involved in a club-related activity that might involve some type of training or participation. But we are surrounded by some awesome scenery and some cool trucks, and hopefully this will be a great learning experience. And while I'm out here, the thing that's going to be an interesting takeaway for me is the term off-road and training are not two words that I've really seen or relate that go together. So I think that's going to be something that I'm interested in seeing how it works out as far as adding a training element to something that I find fun and be able to take something of value from it. So that is kind of where I'm coming to this with a pretty open mind to see, what I know and what I don't know, and I don't know what I don't know. So we'll jump back into this session, 1 of 7 or 8, I think. Showers. So we're on the white sands, and thankfully the sand has gotten whiter because it was not that white up until this point, but now looking a little bit like snow. And we're not in a Land Rover, so
That's a cool picture.
We're out in White Sands in the rental Santa Fe because we don't have a Land Rover. We're following Land Rovers, and it looks like Antarctica. But we were talking a little bit of shit because it didn't look that interesting, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty interesting right now. And And we are in sport mode because this thing doesn't have any other modes apparently. Get out of the way, Massachusetts.
Hey,
Yeah,
this is the best mode though.
This is the best mode. Now we've got all the pep in the world. So we're at White Sands, and this is pretty cool. Like I said, it's funny. It's a location I've seen in lots of YouTube videos, a lot of road trip videos, probably Roadkill and a bunch of other places. And you know, you're like, oh, let's check it out. And I didn't think it'd be that impressive, but it is pretty darn neat. It's about 5:30 this time, and it's white, blustery. There's a couple Land Rovers, 6 Santa Fe. Out here just kind of enjoying the scenery. It's kind of an interesting place. So since we don't have a truck here at the event, we're out wandering the streets of the town of New Mexico to find a Land Rover to purchase. And I think we might have found one here. We spotted this D2 that looks like it's abandoned. And it looks like I see a window open. I don't see license plates. It's got an ARB on it, so this thing is trail ready and it looks like an ATV winch. So I think we need to talk to somebody because that puppy is trail ready.
Oh, it's murdered out.
It's murdered out, yeah. And it should, that's a candidate. All right, so day 2, actual training day. I think there's a few courses. There's trail etiquette, recovery, first aid, and driving. We'll be taking those in a few different rotations. We're going to start off with trail etiquette and see where that goes.
What's your name?
Ken.
Ken. I don't have mine either.
I don't have the resources to look at every bit of road all the time. So again, being a steward, even if it's just passing information, it's always helpful.
Tour of
Because there's some newbies coming in. This is what I find all the time. The newbies come in and they're not lifted.
For the military, actually. I joined the Army Reserves at 17. I was an equipment operator. I was a 62 Juliet.
All of that, so you're going to get the abbreviated version. It's going to be the basics, but it's going to be a great foundation for you to start building from. We are not treating you.
We've got just a bay to pull into here. So we're going to guide him down this. Bearing in mind our sidewalls are one of the most vulnerable things, so we'll talk about that over there. But after I get him through this stuff, an obstacle. But there are also other rocks. What I might do when I'm walking down this is find myself a little ball marker, all right? Something I can see. And be like, all right, I want to get him right here on this. And I'll place a rock there. Back tires in mind. Getting him back to straight. Boom, like that. I don't want these drops to be surprising. He's got a nice approach. Watch what I do with my hands. Don't forget about the back. Remember, straight is a confirmation, not a command. Good. He's keeping his wheel nice and straight. He's following my lead. I'm going to get him past that portion. Nice big clearance, nose right up to that row of cones. About 3, 2, 1, stop.
So we've completed a couple modules so far for the actual, I guess, hands-on training day part 1. The first one was recovery and not actual active recovery. It was more kind of the practical application and understanding of the components within a winch and understanding the do's and don'ts of how that tool is made up and where your failure points are and where things can go wrong. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about winch use and the proper and improper ways to do that, and a little bit of misinformation that's spread around. So being able to speak with experts about how that type of tool is used, as well as kinetic ropes, static ropes, recovery and whatnot, it's a very interesting venue to ask questions and even maybe debunk some common misconceptions. So that was pretty fun. The other one I dropped a couple of clips for was a driving portion, and really kind of focused on just spotter communication, hand signals, and understanding, I guess, the basics of knowing how to effectively communicate tire placement and movement of trail vehicles. Again, it's something we all do, but I feel like most people don't have the basic structure on what is involved and what the ethos behind that type of discussion and responsibility is. So again, that's kind of what they're trying to teach and get at with some of these classes. This is not advanced training or anything, but building a foundation with some of the basics is mostly more than most people do, which is kind of the thought process behind all of this.
That I want you to take away from this. The first one being understanding your legal responsibilities, because you have them, and we'll talk about that. Communicating with 911. Here in the city, it's not such a big deal. It can still take a few minutes to get here, but out in the backcountry, it's a whole different ballgame.
That's good. So I can offer him, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Can I give you some Benadryl? So maybe that tongue is still a little bit swollen, but I could give him a drink. I could give him some Benadryl. That's it.
This is what you're going to have to do. Or in a shack with sequence inside of things. And I can feed it through like that. That. See what we got? Okay. Feed it through like this. Back off just a little bit. Next lock. Just a little bit. Here. This is a this as best I can, so that my bite that I'm going to put here, the little loop, is going to go in here. Okay. Now I'm going to equalize.
Mechanical advantage or speed. There was a high lift hanging in the middle, and I was like, there's something in here.
Second shot.
Yep. Good.
Soft jack already.
Nope.
We need safety guys.
Right. You know rally.
So now we're going to do
right?
some real training.
We're not going to do speed because I think speed's
I know.
pretty.
You can't see it, but Ian's going to be
arbitrary.
on camera trying to navigate me.
So we'll do.
Well, the key thing is orient your hands. So this is like maybe why they want to do the squishy method.
Yeah.
right, first gear.
Yep.
All right, give him time to walk. You're gonna correct left as you start moving off. I'm gonna wait for him to turn around and give me the go.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going quite a ways. Oh man, is he gonna turn around?
I was sitting here and I'm going, I can't see my feet. I don't know if pedal more.
Okay.
Okay.
We're good. All right, correct left. All right, straight. Correct left. Keep going. Straight.
Faster or slower?
No, you're good. Faster, faster. I'll tell you faster or slower.
Straight.
Straight. You can hit the gas. All right, coming up to a dip. You're good. You're good. It's not a big dip. It's a wash.
It feels like we're going 50 miles an hour, dude.
Left one. Yeah. Give it gas. Give it gas. I'll tell you if I want you to slow down. All right. Keep it. Keep steering steady. Give it more gas. All right. Straighten out. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. All right. Straight.
I am going straight.
Correct left. Correct left. Correct left. All right. Straight. Go. All right. You're coming up to a medium right turn.
Okay.
10 feet up.
I can feel it.
Start your turn. Okay. Good, good, good. Stay on this track. All right, start to straighten out. Yep. All right, correct right.
Well, we survived. That was very fun, but I realized I experienced a lot of vertigo when you're wearing a blindfold and doing off-kilter, off-camber, up and down driving things. So we're gonna try it now with
It
Ian.
sat there for a second, but whenever we hit the incline, it kept flopping over and I kept having to reset.
I still feel shitty.
I gotta do that while moving now.
Alright, let's get the wheel straight, he says.
Am I facing left?
Let's straighten the wheel out.
Yeah, I forget which way I was turning.
Alright, stop for a second. Alright, well, you know this. We're doing a little chicane, so get off the brake and we'll start moving forward. No, you're good.
Right.
You're full lock, start tracking left. Alright, hold straight. Hold right. Track left. Track left. Hold. Keep going. Track right. Track left. Hold. Track right. Track left. Hold.
Awesome, guys. So you can secure the vehicle here, have a look-see, talk about how things are working. At first, I definitely think the steering inputs were
yeah, that's why we
big.
That's why we stopped.
Yeah.
So, but I see you
left,
two right.
it. So just make sure you got your lingo dialed in with that.
I remember driving in and I was like, this is a lot of turning for like not a lot of movement.
Alright, so we're going to end this video how it began in the garage. And this is more of the, in summary, ending to it, right? I mean, that was not the most riveting video you've ever seen, but I think it shed a good, or painted a good picture of what the organization, which is ANARC, was trying to achieve. Think about the hierarchy of these type of clubs, right? I mean, this is for fun. It is a good way to preserve and pass on the heritage that these brands, which, you know, founded 80 or so years ago, have influenced many generations of people over the course of time, and to kind of keep that going in the United States. So again, to keep it organized and create a little bit of a hierarchy, consider ANARC the federal government and your, you know, local, state, or county organized Land Rover clubs as, you know, the state government level. It's good, and it's creating the opportunity for a kind of a national correspondence and information flow between these organizations to promote more, you know, rover-based and off-road enthusiast type events and whatnot. And in the current, you know, social climate of the way that the automobile is going and these type of things, it's kind of good to have a governing body that can provide a little bit of guidance and insight into how to successfully perform these events. And that's what this training was about in some, you know, form or fashion, right? How to be a good steward to the trails, the environments, so it stays open, right? The people we train with, they don't do it for fun. It is their job. It is their job to, again, pass on and kind of keep this hobby, this activity, this passion alive, and do that through good stewardship of the land and areas that we have available in the United States. So big shout out to Chris Cole and the Safety Strack folks, all the sponsors, ANARC, Lucky 8, all the talented, very enthusiastic trainers that we had. Again, most of the guys they're rover owners as well. We all have a little bit of the same disease. And again, it was a pretty successful event. It was it gave the good baseline for the basics of how to do this type of thing, how to put these events on. Because, you know, if you've gone to an event like any of these, like Rove, that Rove is put on, like Wintergreen or the New York ANARC, that was ANARC, or, you know, MAR, it takes a lot to put these on. So it's kind of interesting to see what it takes to do it. Because if you're just a participant, you show up and you have a good time, it's wonderful, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's a couple people that like in the world, right? Some like to participate, some like to, you know, get their hands dirty and kind of get involved. So I think that's a bit of the theme. It's kind of a roundabout way to experience. I think there's a lot of good takeaways. And it might be something that could be replicated again. This is the first time they did it. I don't know if that format will be offered again to the general public, but I'm assuming a spin-off of being able to specialize what your club or group would like to get trained on or experience might be in the cards. That's more of a TBD. So that's all I have for this video. If you're in Virginia, I'll see you at Rovers at Wintergreen or MAR or one of the work weekends in the future. But shout out to Bob Steele and the folks at ANARC for putting that together. It was a pretty good time. Hard to capture on film, but you can check out Justin for Lucky 8's video, a little more of an in-depth version of it. So, like and subscribe, do other fun YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. I gotta go fix this broken D2 that I bought. It's in my driveway. Goodbye.